You want to go Black Panther?
You want to do Black Panther? We all saw it. Did we all see it?
Yeah, we all saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been saw it.
Yeah, I know. You're like, I've been saw it.
Just fucking with you.
You guys are slow.
Okay, we all saw Black Panther at different times on our own when we all had the ability.
On different days.
Different days.
With different people.
Right.
At different theaters.
The whole night. Different popcorn. I liked it. It was good. It was, my opinion, wasn't great. I don't think it was the best superhero movie. I don't at all. But I do think it is. I do think when it comes to Marvel movies, I definitely place it in a very close tie with like Winter Soldier. I do give it that, because I think depending on my day, on my mood, Winter Soldier could be on top, Black Panther could be on top.
So
like
tie
this.
for one.
Yes, but I could give you my honest critiques as to why I've had that debate. Like I think because if anybody knows me, like my favorite superhero movie is Dark Knight. But if you look at Marvel as it is, Michael B. Jordan, first time, was this his first time playing a villain?
Yep.
Okay. As a villain, he did a great job, but the problem that I had with him was that specific character, the way it was written, felt very one-dimensional to me. Maybe it's just me.
Really?
You know why? Because it felt like, and I'm not gonna try to
spoil it.
I'm not gonna try to
spoil it. Fuck it. It's been a month. They haven't seen it by now.
Has it been a month?
Yeah, over a month.
Has it been a month?
5
Dude,
weeks
they're going on their
number
5th week. Is
number one. High five that thing.
They're going
okay.
like,
if you want to spoil it, I don't care.
If you haven't seen it by now, that's just your problem.
All right, screw this. All right, make sure you put a marker. We're gonna start dropping spoilers right now. If you want to skip that, go to this minute video section right there, and we'll just skip that. So I felt that he was very one-sided, one-dimensional, because it really was, I'm angry, and I'm gonna and that's basically it. This is why I'm angry, and that's really it. If you really look at it.
But you didn't really see him get angry until he got to Wakanda.
Yeah. But you already knew he was upset. You knew there was something. He had something against somebody. You could tell from the very get.
But I mean, I'm gonna take the.
Go for
it. I was like you.
He goes.
I got this. Like you, when I first saw the trailer, I thought the worst of Michael B. Jordan, and I love him as an actor. Don't get it wrong. I do love him.
And that's why I told you about that fire thing. I was like, I'm telling you,
I thought the worst of him. I thought he was gonna be a horrible villain. I thought, like, originally not knowing the whole backstory, thought that he was playing it too ghetto or too trashy or whatever, not African or rootsy or whatever you want, ethnic enough. When you see them, when I saw the movie, I was like, dude, he killed it. He did a great performance. I think there's a lot of pieces people miss when they watch the movie the first time, because it has to do more with the cultural influence. Like the reason it was shot in Oakland, the Black Panther Party started in Oakland. Yep. So like there's ties to like why this happened and why he has this anger. His father, if you actually realize what his father was doing, his father was actually a Black Panther leader.
Yeah.
He was a Black Panther in his own way.
Yeah,
while his brother was a Black Panther of Wakanda.
Yeah.
So like that connection, when you start seeing Michael B. Jordan's character come alive, you start, if you're paying attention, or not even if you're able to catch or connect the dots at the time, you start realizing this character is unfolding the way the American culture or society unfolded. Yeah. He is the epitome of, not just because he's an angry black man, but the man who's been left by himself, abused by a system, to take the system over himself.
I think going with you on the him playing a villain, I loved him as a villain.
Oh yeah.
If you ask me about his specific performance, damn, like I think he did a great job. I can't deny that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hey,
like,
auntie.
Huh?
Yeah.
yo, when he did that, I was like, this guy's an asshole. Like it really was that moment. I was like, dude. Yeah. When you're talking about like the angry black man and the whole
so many layers in that fight.
There is a lot of layers, especially this character.
This is what I would have liked about him. Okay, like how you said, it was set. Like his dad was a Black Panther in more ways than one, and everything like that. Oof. I understood that after, right? I think for the fact that they should have hashed that out more. You know what scene I would have loved to have seen more of? When he actually took the purple flower and he went into the other realm and talked to his dad, I would have loved to have that scene more hashed out.
No, I think that scene is perfect.
I know, I get you, but
here, look, I'm gonna interrupt again. You can sit back. You watched it already. You I already know what you're gonna say. I got you on this. Look,
go for it.
In the part where T'Challa goes to see his father, his ancestors, right? He does like the
He got
eating the
high as
purple,
hell. No, I'm just kidding.
the purple whatever it is.
Yeah.
Good.
Both times he goes. The first time he goes, so his father can tell him, "Hey, you're
Yes.
ready. You got this. You've seen me. You followed me. You walk my footsteps. Now you can walk them on your own."
Right.
The second time he goes, almost confront him because he
You wanted to
realizes
punch him in the face.
Yo,
he
that was
realizes
fucking real.
he realizes the mistake. And both those times are him growing, or him learning, or him becoming his own independent person. When we see Killmonger's character do it and his father try to tell him, Killmonger is trying to, even though his dad's already gone, he's trying to let his dad grow. Because he's telling him, you think they left you behind. They left us all behind.
Right.
And the father was like, "Damn."
And then his
I
father
failed
had that
you as a son.
His father's perfect example. His father realizes what the child was realizing. So his character is already hashed out. He knows his mission. He's had that moment in his life, growing up without his father, growing up in a system that was broken. He had the realization without ever having to eat that herb.
Right.
Because that wasn't a moment for him.
Right.
That was a moment for his father and for the audience.
Yeah.
That moment wasn't for him because his moment had already come, him growing up.
See, like exactly what you said.
Wait, he has something to say. Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
All right, this will be quick. The opening sequence where the person is telling
that
things,
accent?
huh?
No, the opening.
Oh, okay, yeah.
About
Oakland
Wakanda?
19.
Yeah.
That's Killmonger.
Right.
That's not
T'Challa. That's Killmonger's
Right.
father is
Okay.
telling him that.
No, right. Like
So there's your extra time. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, it's not.
That's-
I know,
that's
just
his-
fucking- go ahead.
no, like exactly what you just said. When it comes to like Killmonger, like what you said, like yes, in the story, they basically lay it all out for you that yes, Killmonger, this is what happened. He was fatherless, he was motherless, he was an orphan, he was raised by a system. That's why he's all angry about it. I understand that. You know what I mean? But the parts that I would want to have seen.
You just want to see more.
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to see more.
Not that you're
of-
pissed, but you're like,
Yes, I know you're pissed. It's obvious why you're pissed, but I want to see more of why you're pissed because I want to develop more of an emotional connection to you. I personally did not get that as much as I wanted to. You get what I'm saying?
I got
That's
it.
the problem that I had with it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah, that's the only problem I have with it because everything you said
I got the
completely with
connection.
you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The problem is
I
like,
thought my daddy with Panther claws and fucking.
yeah. You know what?
Like,
His discovery of seeing his dad like that, even if they extended that part a little bit more, for me, I would have liked it more because I would have felt for him a lot more. You kind of get what
I
I'm
get
saying?
it. I get it.
Like that's
You
what
kind of maybe see him go through the system, maybe a quick
Yes.
run through of him going through the
Yes.
system, his rough
That's
upbringing.
You
I
know,
get you.
I see where you're coming from, but I think Ryan Coogler, the director, was trying to hint on the idea that yes, this is a broken man who represents America,
whatever the system may be.
Whatever
I
the
think
system may be.
That's kind of what I kind of figured too.
but he didn't want to make you care about that because nobody else does. The reality is that you might want to fall in love with this character, but the world hasn't. The world has made these characters victims, or punished them, or made them traitors, or made them less than human. So I mean, this is me just interpreting. I think his idea might have been like, if I make him too likable, I'm not going to show how America's actually seeing black people. And he's kept it as real as possible
on
to
that
where
note-
people actually dislike the angry black man.
On that note, Ryan Coogler, fucking amazing job.
You did a
dude.
great.
Third movie.
Like seriously.
Third movie.
Yeah, because
Great
it's Fruitvale, Creed, and this,
Yeah.
isn't it? Right?
Yep.
Fruitvale was. You haven't seen Fruitvale Station.
Yeah, dude,
You
that
see,
was an incredible movie.
If you haven't seen Fruitvale Station, it was Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan.
Yep.
Side note, Forrest Whitaker helped produce Fruitvale Station for him back in the day. So it's fitting
what?
that he's like, oh, I get to
Did
work
not
with
know
you.
that.
Yeah.
Then I know
He was
that.
like,
Same
I get to work
cinematographer
with
too, Rachel Morrison,
Yeah.
who was the first female nominated in the Oscars for cinematography
Very
too.
nice. Honestly, if you look at what Coogler has done,
you. Oh,
go.
sorry. What'd you think of Wakanda?
I liked it.
Amazing.
I know y'all talking about the Lexus thing. I'm like,
I fucking hate Lexus.
you ain't got to worry about
Yeah,
the fucking car in Wakanda.
Yeah, I
Thank
hated
you
the
for that.
I hated the fucking Lexus. Should have been
you know
another
what?
car, not Lexus. But that's the
You know-
side
I
note.
understand it, but I'm like, you ain't got to worry about this shit.
talk
in Wakanda.
about funny ass technology. What are those?
Yeah.
That part, I died. I almost pissed myself.
I liked how it kind of looked almost like a little town, like out of a Star Wars kind of like little thing.
Yeah.
It looked like
I
so
love that.
futuristic, like it was something out of a Star Wars
I
kind of
love the
little thing.
fact that they showed
Like the different tribes.
I
love that.
I love
That
the
was
fact that they
amazing.
showed different tribes, but I love the fact that they showed. Listen, I was like, we stayed hidden, and our technology is way better than everybody, and you will never know.
Yeah.
I like that part and the reasoning behind it. I really did like all that part. I do like. I generally speaking, I really liked the whole movie. As the best superhero movie, I can't give that label up for me. It's very hard because again, for me, it's Dark Knight. There was so much level.
You know, I think on that note, it's a very different superhero movie than movie comes to. I think this would be more on par. I think this would be more on par with kind of a Logan because it's more. It's more of a story. It's more a story. Yeah, it has its popcorn moments. Where everybody's blowing up, but it's more about the story. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like bigger shit is.
I do like the fact that the way they set up that specific universe. Okay,
because it's own. It's been hidden, so it's its own universe.
Like that's why if people ask me what did I think of Black Panther, I loved it. I think there's some flaws, but nothing that I'm really gonna cry about. If anybody ever asks me what's the biggest flaw for me, I will say is Michael B. Jordan, just because I personally wanted more. Matter of fact, I wanted more. But as a villain, I think he did a great ass job. But the ass whooping he gave to T'Challa. Damn,
this your king?
Yo, that point I was like, this guy. Yeah. You know, but yeah, I mean, shout out to Ryan Coogler. Great job.
What about Michonne?
Great. I think the people who stole the show were all the female leads.
I love
really strong.
No weak females.
No weak females. Bro.
And I'm gonna bring this up. I had a very interesting conversation about. This specific movie because I'm not gonna name names, but I had somebody mention the fact that
name names, bro.
I'm not gonna name names.
No, you ain't gonna do that.
But the argument came to I don't see what the big deal of Black Panther is, and my argument is this: I was like, the reason why Black Panther is such a landmark movie, not because of the storyline, not because of the villain, not because of the director,
representation,
but because the bigger picture as a whole. This is the first time, and please correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time a studio decided to give this much of a budget movie to make a tentpole movie featuring pretty much an all-black cast.
Black.
That
writer, costume director.
Fairly unknown cast members. Fairly unknown. Michael B. Jordan notwithstanding. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you really look at it,
the guy who played M'Baku, this is his first movie.
Did a great job. M'Baku was a great character.
That's what I said. I want to see more of him.
Yeah, he was a badass.
That was Silverback, right?
Yeah.
That's like silent. Feeds my children.
Yo, he did it. I love this character. I love this character. I love his performance.
And
I love
he's in Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's in the trailer.
He was in the back. I saw him. I was like,
yo. Definitely. It was a great representation.
Yeah. But for me, I say this. This is what made it so landmark. It's the first time a major studio said we're going to give you this much money to make a tentpole movie featuring relatively unknown all black cast. You know what I mean? And for that is a big deal for the culture. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to call it.
Because it hasn't been done.
Hasn't been done.
It's 2018. Like, no,
you know, and people and the argument that I heard was like, well, they threw money before. I mean, look at Cedric the Entertainer. Like he did the remake for Honeymooners. I'm like, yeah, but I was like this was my argument. I was like, but listen, I was like, what you're telling me is that like a studio throws $20 million for a come and go movie comedy. But they're not putting a tentpole.
And it wasn't even.
This is how we're running the whole rest of the year.
And it wasn't even a movie that they expected to make money back. Like the majority of the budget went to play the four main actors. That was really it.
Pretty much it.
So like it wasn't a movie that they really cared about to invest marketing money. Or it was like, oh, it's a remake. You know what? To feel good, it's an all black cast remake and all white crew.
That's kind of where my argument stands. It's like, listen,
they didn't get it, did they? Still didn't get it. Then. Yeah, some people just. I mean, honestly,
it was more like, dude, I see that as racism. I'm like, no, it's not racism.
What?
I swear to God.
I mean, we've been doing movies for like 100 years of the opposite side.
No, I agree. I don't believe you.
I was like this. Matter of fact, I was like.
But that mentality is like, you win, bro. I can't.
There's no way I could argue around it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the reality is that it's not about. This movie was not about. It's a racist thing. No. If you look at the characters, if you look at the comic book characters. There's damn near no white anybody.
Yeah, because it takes place in Africa.
And it takes place in Africa. There's a
Other than
reason.
South Africa, there's very few white people in
Right.
Africa
So what it
in
is
the
is-
whole of the
yeah,
nation.
What it is
So-
that we like the movie industry said we're gonna give you $150 million budget. Never been done on an all black cast, fairly
Was
unknown.
that 150?
2 million. It's two.
It was
Yeah,
200
that-
million.
200 million.
200 million. $200 million budget to make one movie as a tentpole with relatively unknowns. That's insane, never heard of, and they paid off in spades.
And then relatively a young cinematographer because
Oh,
Rachel
yeah.
at the time wasn't. I mean, she had some good movies under her, but
Again,
not been
If you look
nominated
at it,
yet,
yeah,
so-
yeah. Like visually, it was beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Visually, it was beautiful. I mean, the colors,
Costumes.
the use of the costumes, the use of
Production
the sets.
design was amazing. Just production design was great on the movie.
Yeah, it was great. So yes, do we highly recommend it?
I do.
Hell yes.
But if you those who don't know too much about American history, or in particular Black history in America, you might miss a lot of things that might make sense. So I would say do a little bit of research on Oakland, the Black Panther Party before you go see it, so you'll catch up on
And do it
the
with the
nuances.
Open, and if you're really serious about
If you're
doing
really
your research,
serious.
do it with an open mind. Because
Yes.
I know a lot of people have a stigma about the Black Panther Party. It did go south. I'm not going to sit here and
Yeah.
try to test it.
The beginning was
but
great.
You can't
and-
deny the great things that
Yeah.
came out of it.
The
Free,
current-
free school lunches is because of that.
Yeah, I mean the current Black Panther Party is not what it set out to
No,
be its mission.
yeah, it's not.
But
I mean,
like anything,
yeah.
sometimes you run astray from your course. Hopefully they go back to it.